Hi guys, it's Sebastian here from Noble Frugal Studio, and I finally have for you guys the video of your second animation. Now my video, Opentoonz, your first animation was probably my most popular video, and has more views than any of them other of my videos combined on my channel. So I decided I'd follow that up with some suggestions and tips for practicing for your guys' second animation. So this is just a video that tells you that can tell you some of the types of animations that people do in order to practice animation and improve their skills. Now, first one, which I'm going to be showing you guys today, is the heavy object animation, where you would have to design a character and then you'd make that character lift up a heavy object, and that's practicing with timing and adding, flow and using the usage of arcs in animation. Now, if you don't know what any of that really means, then you can check out Alan Becker's tutorial series on the 12 principles of animation, and it's a very good series, all animated all the way through. His videos, he worked really hard on that, so I do recommend that. I'll leave that link in the descriptions. The next part of the animation, the next animation you can try, is the flour sack animation. Now, I never did this myself, and I'm not really sure as to why it is helpful, but I'm sure it's for like things like squash and stretch, the usage of arcs, and what is it called, when you have follow-through animation. So that could be very useful for practice. The next is animating hair. Same thing with follow-through and objects that are hanging off of a character. And another one is sound clips or lip sync, like I did on my lip sync video. You can have a video where you're just animating a sound clip from a movie or something, which a lot of people like to do, and those end up being kind of entertaining. And animating a background. I did do an animated background once. I showed you guys. I haven't showed you guys the more finished product for the Castle Dark themed intro. So these are sort of animations to improve your versatility when it comes to making another animation. Maybe you'll add a character carrying a heavy object just to show off your animation skills. So I did, for this tutorial, I made an animation about a character holding a heavy object, because I never really did such a thing. Honestly, I never really did a lot of these, but backgrounds I did, but I never really did a lot of the I never really did a lot of these practices, which is questionable as to why I'm teaching it. But first, I would have to design a character. Now, the character I designed, I named is Aquila. I really like that name, and she is just some lady. I drew a shape of sort of like a vase looking thing, and then I drew her off of that, and now I'm in the animation software and I have her animated. And next, you want to establish all points of view of the character, or at least the important ones, like the front, the profile, and the 3/4 view, which is going to be essential for when you need to animate them. For my character, it's just a circle, so it's really not that difficult. And lastly, I sort of went along and I made 3 poses, I believe. Where is it? Hold on. 1, then there's 2 right here. These are the 2 key poses, and this is the breakdown between them, and that can help me make the whole walk cycle. And this isn't a video about how to make a walk cycle, but in the future, if you guys really want me to make one, then I definitely will. By the way, speaking of videos, definitely leave your suggestions in the comments, guys, because I'm starting to run out of ideas, as you guys see with the lack of videos. But it really helps if you guys have some suggestions. So yeah, onwards, I'm just going to show you guys this animation, and then we'll talk about the rest of it after. So let's play. So yeah, this is the animation. I basically blocked out all the key poses that I wanted, which is the walking pose and the pose where she is picking up the basket or vase or whatever you want it to be. And I made this pose where she's sort of lifting it up, and then the pose where she is tripping, and then the pose where she has it, and then lastly was the one where she puts it on her head. And that's pretty much all the keyframes you need. But then, as you guys can see, this animation has tons of more frames than that. It's because as you get into like the breakdowns, meaning the frames in between the keyframes and the in-betweening, it becomes much more complex looking. But as you can see, Opentoonz has a very nice naming system where it go 1 to A, and then to B, which is sort of like, if you figure this out, it's just like 1, and this is the first 2 you made, and the second 2 would be the breakdown in between that. So it's pretty interesting to see how Opentoonz already organizes these things for you. Of course, it's not very straightforward to the beginner, and it's not straightforward to me either. I actually need to fix this frame, but eventually I'll come to understand what the heck any of that means. So anyway, guys, I do want to discuss how the weight transferred from the character. For this, I put a lot of frames of her trying to lift it and being unsuccessful, so it's a long time of her being unsuccessful of lifting it, and then suddenly just comes up because she finally mustered the strength. And what I did is I used an arc here without even noticing. Actually, I did this. She went up and then down, as you guys can see, that sort of the round curve of what she let me put the onion skin so maybe you guys can see it a little better, like this. No, not that. And you click right here, so as you can see, it's like an arc up like here. It's like like this. It's an arc of where she moved, and it makes the movement a lot more natural and realistic looking. So this animation, I still have a lot to do as for finishing it, but it does look very so far it looks pretty good. So what I want to recommend for you guys to make your second animation is to go for something that's pretty challenging. I never did something like this, and although I did have a lot of practice using Opentoonz, definitely go for something like the flour sack thing. I still can't I still haven't gone for that, and I might do that next because it can really teach you something. Like I said before, it'll teach you versatility in your animation. So if you want to make another animation, maybe you'll have a heavy object scene just to add the little, add some spice to it, make it look really, really nice. So these are just some tips to help you with that. If you find your animations are looking dull, or you don't know what to animate, that's a pretty serious problem with me. I had it too. I just didn't know what to do, so I just decided I'd do something like this. I designed a character named Akila, and I really like the name. I really like the character, and I had fun with this. Definitely have fun with it. And so next thing I really have to do is probably just go deeper into the in-betweens, and well, yeah, that's pretty much it. All you got to do is go deeper into the in-betweens and finish up the animation. Now, I know there wasn't really a lot of animating in this video, but I wanted to give you guys this just to show you, give some suggestions of what you can do, what other people are doing, and what they do in animation school. And by the way, Opentoonz 1.1.3 did come out, and it's working flawlessly, as you guys can see. If you know, before, Opentoonz could not really play your videos without rendering them, or at least previewing them first. And now we can play it just fully by itself, and it's right on the X sheet. So I'm pretty proud of that. Opentoonz has come a long way, and I'm very grateful. So that's pretty much it for this video, guys. If you guys have any other video suggestions, please, I'm begging you, leave them in the comments. I want to make some more videos and give you guys the tutorials and suggestions, tips, and tricks that you need. So that's pretty much up for me, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.